The sound of people cheering, clapping.
The clanking of the metal as your feet are pushing against the blocks.
That's what we play for, is excitement, happiness, is everything.
The lights are on you, thousands of people screaming.
Your adrenaline is off the charts.
Cuando suena mi canción, me pongo muy nerviosa.
It's very euphoric, very addictive. It's like you're flying.
You get an extreme rush.
It's only you and your thoughts.
It can become very dangerous very quickly.
Entonces sí me persino porque pues no sé qué va a pasar.
But as soon as the game starts, I'm super focused, like tunnel vision, and I just zone in.
My name is Persephone.
Jules Koundé, Noah Lyles.
La Catalina.
We always dreamed of playing these competitions.
It's the reason that you pushed your body so hard.
To show that we're getting these opportunities for a reason.
Sale la Catalina y la arena. ¡Oh! Y se siente, ¿sabes? Que se me pone la piel de gallina, ¿eh?
You just want to be prepared for everything.
I tell athletes all the time, look good, feel good.
There is an element of self-expression that when that's able to come out, even in a very tiny way, you're being yourself. And I really do believe the only way to be the best version of yourself as an athlete is to be your full self, or as much of your full self as possible. I think for male athletes, this is a whole new world.
I've always been a big proponent of look good, feel good, run good. When I show myself on the track, it's my moment. So you can't just wear the outfit, you know, you gotta make sure the hair is right, you gotta make sure the nails are on point, everything's matching. That's what a full outfit is. I don't wanna go out there looking shaggy. I wanna try and put my best foot forward because it's gonna be a moment. I'm Noah Lyles, 6-time world champion, American record holder, Olympic champion in the 100 meters, and world's fastest man. I've been training for the U.S. National Championships of 2025.
Hey, Nick. What up, champ?
Thankfully, I have the bye to make the World Championship team by winning the last World Championships.
It's so much better already. That's right. It's much better already. Yeah.
I'm just going into this nationals race against the fastest people in the U.S. right now.
That's burning.
I don't have to worry about making the team. It's just, let's get in shape. Let's sharpen the sword.
What's pace on the 150?
I think he added 15 too.
Okay. And what, the 120 is like 11-1?
11-1.
I mean, my bad, 12-1? 12-1, 12-1. 12-2?
Yeah, probably 12-2.
When I win the 100 at this World Championships, I'll be the first man to win 3 major championships in a row. And when I win the 200, I'll be the first man to win 4 major championships in a row. And that is the excitement. Uncharted territory.
As you can see, I am not dead, and I have not yielded.
What time do you run?
33.
Let's go.
Today was top 5 best training sessions ever, by far. Yeah. It was a really good one, and very needed too. You want to be able to have like that really good session going into U.S. Nationals. I got my icon tattoo because it described what I wanted to be in my life. I wanted to be an icon. I didn't want to just be, a track runner, because that's just one part of me. The creative side of me has to be able to flourish just as much as the athletic side.
I think the part about being an athlete, wanting to have a career that has longevity, wanting to have a career with a lot of success, is understanding, especially from a mental health standpoint. It's going to be challenging. I know what it's like for a team sport athlete, individual athletes. It's just them. They are out there by themselves. And so if they're off a little bit, that's obviously going to impact their performance off a little bit mentally. And trying to find what that is for you as an individual is so important.
When I'm getting my hair done, I'd say I'm in a zen-like state. I like to have chill music going on. Maybe I'll throw in some anime. I want to be calm. This is not a time to deal with anything but getting my hair done and being excited about what the final product is going to be. And I just get to have this time as just me and the process. I'd like to look good. I like everything that I'm doing to embody how I feel. And when it doesn't, I don't know, it just feels off. I train 9 months out of the year. I'm talking to my sports therapist all throughout the year. If we're not racing, then we're, making sure that the right headspace is created. So I'm going in with a I can or I will type mentality instead of a what if it doesn't, or this might be too hard type mentality.
Things loosening up?
Yeah, I think we got it.
All right.
I think it's extremely important to take care of your body so that it takes care of you. That's everything from massage, chiro, to making sure the nails are matching. That's all part of the body and all just as important as the last. Self-care, especially when you're in sport, is extremely important because it's one less thing that you have to worry about. It's another thing that you can feel confident walking forward into. And in a world of sports, when you have a ton of things on your mind, that's the last thing you want to be thinking about. I was bullied in middle school, but my ADD and my asthma medication made my teeth yellow. So I used to get bullied because of that. But as I got older and became an adult and started doing more and more therapy with myself, I just got so much more confident in myself and my abilities, I didn't really care. And I was like, people are gonna do them and I'm gonna do me. I love to be creative. If I was just out there and told, all you can do is run, I don't know if I would have been in the sport as long as I've been in so far. When I got to a championship, I looked at everybody and I said, why do we all have the same low haircut? I can't look like all the rest of you. I need my own look. First, I sprayed silver in reference to Dragon Ball Z, Goku's Ultra Instinct. Then in 2022, I dyed it gold, another Dragon Ball Z reference. It was just constantly reinventing. And then finally we get to the braids. I'm like, oh, that was great. It lasted long. We had no issues. Okay, what are we doing for Paris? Well, we can't do what we did last year.
Not for Paris.
Not for Paris. And then we said, well, why don't we put jewelry in the hair? So that's a great idea.
I think once you find out more about yourself, that's kind of where your confidence lives, because you're really able to express. It really comes back to that self-expression aspect of it. You're able to show more of yourself, right? It makes being vulnerable a little bit easier because you have more of a foundation built.
The World Championships is actually the hardest thing. Because you're in a different country, like we're gonna be in Tokyo.
Yeah.
How many black braiders in Tokyo? And I'm already gonna be out in Europe for over a month. So I'm not gonna be able to visit Tamika.
My favorite is anytime I have to think. Like him, as far as like figuring it out and challenging myself, I like those. Because then I'm like, oh, I've never done this before. And then I turn into feel like a mad scientist. I gotta figure it out, yeah. I get excited over those.
The one braid was definitely the most challenging.
Fun.
It was by far the most challenging. I remember you calling your mentor for that one.
Yes, I did.
I gotta go, let me go look this up. London. Here it is. Here it is. There it is right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Somebody come look at this.
So I ended up drawing a pattern, and she had to follow the pattern, but it was all made out of one braid. So instead of seeing a lot of single braids like this or, cornrows where you just go individually straight back, she started one place and she didn't stop until she got to the end, and then we ended up binding the braid at the end of it. That was a good one.
When you're able to kind of like style yourself in the way you want to style, when you're able to like do your hair in the way you want to do it, and it feels good, it's one less thing you're worrying about. You feel good in it, you don't have to think about it, and you can now focus on like what's really happening out here, right? Which is like the race you're running, the game you're playing, the match you're in. I still think it lives in the world of expression, and for some, they like to push the limits.
I want to make sure I look my best, you know? I want to make sure I got clean skin, a straight hairline. It helps enhance not only the outfit, but my confidence. Every time I do my nails, every time I choose my outfit, these are all preparations for that day. So I'll never be in a situation where it's like, wow, that came fast. No, this is the moment that I was ready for and that I was waiting on. In 2021, I was still dealing with depression and anxiety, and I was like coming off of my medication. I was weaning off, and I was weaning off of it because it wasn't allowing me to perform to the best of my abilities. And I didn't have a lot of 200s under my belt. I didn't do well in the 100 at the track meet. And I remembered my mom on the day of the finals. One of the things that she said that still sticks to me is, this moment was made for you. Nobody else, just you. And from that point on, that's always been my belief. And it's never let me down.
I think we're all used to hearing from fans and critics that lucha libre is fake. Obviously, those of us who are in the ring know that that's not the case. If I tell you right now, let's go outside, I'm gonna hit you with my car, the only fake thing about it is that you know it's coming, but that doesn't change that I'm gonna hit you with my car and it's gonna hurt. We are a lot more athleticism than we are theatrics.
La gente que dice que esto es falso, es puro show, es teatro, ojalá fuera así. Hubo una vez donde se me reventó un quiste luchando. Y al salir de la lucha directamente fui al hospital. El recuperarme de eso también fue feo, pues casi me muero arriba del ring. Fue el peor momento que tuve aquí y fue por eso, o sea, por no ser capaz de parar, porque trabajamos siempre.
My name is Persephone, and I'm a luchadora or an amazona.
Mi nombre es La Catalina, la diva del ring. Soy luchadora profesional chilena y la técnica favorita hoy en día de la afición mexicana.
This is our month for Amazonas, which is the luchadoras, the female pro wrestlers. And in a week, we have our Grand Prix, which is our international match.
Las luchadoras de todo el mundo, las mejores, vienen al consejo por una copa. En serio, quiero ganar esa copa porque son las mejores. Y qué mejor que ganarle a las mejores y irme yo como la gran ganadora, ¿no? Aquí.
Lucha Libre has maybe been around for 150 years. Women have been showcased for the past maybe 20, 30. And so everything we have right now is fairly new. And I think we all push ourselves to do the best we can to show that we're getting these opportunities for a reason.
Cada vez que estoy arriba del ring, con uñas, con pestañas, con cabello, soy la diva. La gente me conoce como la diva del ring. Catalina le gusta llamar la atención. Entonces cada vez que está arriba del ring o en la pasarela o haciendo algo, le gusta que la miren.
Persephone is a bad guy. Persephone is cocky, arrogant. She's so much fun because she's everything that you'd want to be. Like, you want to be cocky, you want to be confident, but you can't do it boastfully in the street. Before Persephone, I was a masked wrestler named Black Widow. And then obviously because of copyright reasons, I couldn't use Black Widow anymore. So then at that point, I thought, well, if we're gonna make a change, we might as well make a big change and take off the mask completely and just start from scratch. So for someone to just come in and take off their mask, it was extremely disrespectful because the norm, the tradition, is to protect your mask and to take care of it and keep it as long as you can. Something extremely like sacred. But I've always thought I was a very charismatic person and an expressive person. To connect with people, you have to let them feel the emotion that you're feeling. And so I thought, I'm kind of wasting what I think I'm good at, which is expressing that and connecting with people with a mask on. And so I took advantage of that moment where I needed to make a change and thought, this is it, this is my moment. A lot of the times when you come into a big company, they already have characters and names ready. So it's a little rare for someone to come in with their own persona, their own idea, and this is what I'm sticking to. This was mine, this was my idea, it's kind of like my baby, I created it. So Persephone in Greek mythology is a Greek goddess who was in charge of harvest until she was stolen by Hades, god of the underworld. And so for half the time, she's up with her mom and, happy life. And I think that's Persephone's nice side. But the other half of that deal was she's in the underworld half the year with Hades ruling the underworld, and it's this goddess of death type of vibe. And so that's Persephone when she's in the ring.
Cuando yo empiezo a entrenar lucha, las mujeres que estaban en Chile las trataban súper feo siendo luchadoras. O eran las novias del luchador, o que eran las putas de, o que calentaban la esquina. O sea, eran palabras muy feas y términos muy feos hacia la luchadora chilena. Y no se les daba la importancia que era la mujer dentro de la lucha libre. Entonces, para mí sí fue como esa la razón de por qué mi personaje. Debuté y me quise llamar la diva del ring para que cuando me vean van a inspirarse a las niñas y todo va a ser con brillos, todo va a ser elegante, todo va a ser hacer sentir que una mujer puede hacer lucha y también verse bonita haciéndolo y no es grotesca.
What I love about athletes, what I love about sports is you turn on, however it is you consume your sports, and there's just a wide variety for you to find. So that's like a wonderful relationship where you can kind of be a role model, but athletes in real time are doing it in front of everybody, and they're kind of risking it. But that's where that relationship between what it is to be an athlete lives. You have to risk it in order to be successful, and you know that as somebody who plays sports.
Wrestling without a mask now has made skincare really important. When I had the mask, I didn't really pay attention to it too much. And so without the mask, it kind of makes you a little bit more vulnerable because now people are seeing your face 100%. And I've never been a big makeup person. The only thing I've barely started to get into and learn how to do are these dark, smoky eyes to make Persephone look bolder, to make her look a little bit more serious. Since I don't use a lot of makeup, which I think is pretty different from the other women, I figured I needed something to stand out, something that was mine. These curls are from my dad. So he wasn't the best at taking care of it. I mean, I think he did what all men do, right? They shower and they get some gel and just slap it on and call it a day. And so as a kid, I wasn't really sure how to take care of curly hair. And so now that I know, all the tricks, I know the type of curly hair that I have, the products that are good for me, I think it's something I spend a lot of time with, and it's becomes a staple for Perse. Once you have your look, it's important to keep that look because it's what people will identify you with. When I'm braiding my hair and I'm getting ready and I'm looking at myself and I'm doing that eye makeup and cleaning my face, in that moment, I already start to feel like Perse.
Lo que siempre debo mantener en el look de la Catalina es el cabello rosado. Mi cabello me lo pinta mi mejor amiga.
¿Sí has probado ese tipo de gel así?
Sí. Para ti no, porque es como muy...
Se va a romper.
Frágil, ajá, exacto.
En cualquier parte siempre tiene que estar con el color rosado. Todo rosado, mis ojos rosados, a veces mis cachetes rosados, mis labios rosados, pero ese es el color principal y siempre tengo que andar muy maquillada.
The one thing about athletes is we're never hiding. I think athletes today, compared to when I was first becoming a professional athlete, I think the criticism is the same, but because of the coverage and the social media, and I feel like in today's world, a lot of people like to give the hot take. I think it's much, 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 I can't even emphasize how much more difficult it is to be an athlete now.
No matter what, there's always criticism, there's always hate. If I'm in the best shape of my life, I look like a man, or I'm too built, or I'm not feminine enough. If I maybe stop doing the diet, then I'm now overweight and I'm not taking care of myself. No matter what we choose to wear, no matter what we choose to come out in, our physique, no matter what it looks like, it's always gonna be criticized. This is a sport, this isn't modeling.
Había muchas críticas del público, muchas críticas de mi apariencia. Yo creo que el Zumba me ayuda mucho con el tema de la vergüenza, con el tema de que no me da miedo. O sea, puedo estar bailando y a veces, me salió mal, no importa, estoy sola, ¿sabes? Pero eso me ayuda al tema de la vergüenza y de que hoy en día puedo salir por la pasarela y puedo bailar y hay 16,000 personas aquí y no me importa, solo me concentro en mí, en lo que estoy haciendo, lo que estoy haciendo de bailar y lo que trato de demostrar y me siento muy, muy femenina, muy sexy cuando estoy bailando.
Next Friday we have our Grand Prix where 9 Mexicans will go against 9 international from the US, from the UK, from Japan, just from all over.
Y represento a México, pero abajo también represento a Chile, entonces sería un orgullo poder tener esa copa y poder decir que gané la copa del año 2025 del Grand Prix de mujeres. Es algo súper icónico y pues quiero hacer más historia.
I think it's something you accept very early when you play a team sport, that you control yourself first and foremost, but you will never be in control of everything in sport, so life. The earlier you accept it, I think the best it is. So you have to focus on yourself first and know that you are ready, that you did everything you were supposed to do in order to help the team. Je m'appelle Jules Koundé. Je suis latéral droit et défenseur central au FC Barcelona en Espagne. I'm preparing myself for the next Champions League game, which is the biggest European competition in football. C'est un match très important. And it's a childhood dream to be able to play in it. When I was younger, I was very, very frustrating when I was losing a game. Like sometimes during 2 days, I wouldn't want to speak to my mom. I was just moody. I think I made a lot of progress at handling my emotion throughout my career and just throughout my life. Losing feel like shit. Obviously, as a competitor, like, you absolutely hate it. But since it's part of the game, you have to accept it. And some losses also teach you a lot, and then after you're able to bounce back. So not every loss feel the same. Same that not every wins feel the same. That's the beauty of sports. Like, you never really kind of find the same emotion. I grew up in a small village, and I always loved playing football. By the age of 14, I wanted to be a professional player. My mom, she always wanted me to put maximum effort into something. If not, it's just better not do it. I do think talent is very necessary, but I wasn't the most talented in my academy days. I always had like teammates who were very, very talented, but who worked less hard. And at the end of the day, I think being very disciplined makes a huge difference. Not only in sport, but in general in your life. Being consistent. Someday you wake up and you don't feel like it. You feel like staying in the bed, staying in the house, staying in bed and just doing nothing. But still, you wake up and you go do what you have to do. My training routine is quite busy. I train 1 time with the team a day and 2 times with my personal coach. So it's like 3 training a day.
We're gonna do 6 times. We're gonna do the first 3 focusing on the pushing and the power with the knee drive. And the second 3, then you go full blast.
The most important part in my training would probably be conditioning. because football is a game you have to run 5 or 6 miles a game. So conditioning is key. To be honest, that's the part I hate the most, but have to do it.
But the first 20 I film, it's like really pushing and you're leaning a lot forward, and then I need to...
When you're coming up. That part is more about letting your body naturally get up by itself. You don't want to force it. And then from there, you just keep the quickness going. Keep the turnover going.
I have to be better with controlling the ball, moving the ball forward, everything which is more the offense part, because it's not natural, because I used to play central defender.
There we go.
I see my body as a race car. Sometimes just a little detail and then it derailed all the work you've done. Training hard, very precisely, helps you protect from injuries. At the same time, recovery, is key.
So you're going to be away on Wednesday for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm actually leaving this afternoon.
Okay.
As soon as I land, I will definitely go to the gym.
Yeah.
I have 1 week, so I need to also to disconnect a little bit, but to be somewhere else. But
go and do something a little different.
Yeah.
Athletes for a long time, it would just be like, suck it up. You're having a bad day, suck it up. You're in a bad mood, suck it up. And that's not really healthy. You have to be kind to yourself from like a mental health standpoint, show yourself grace. You have to be like kind to your body and treat it nicely and give it days off and like really give it days off. I really started to buy into this idea of like marginal gains, just like little things having big gains. And I think self-care really lives in that world.
The way I am with my look, my skincare, my hairstyle is really, I have the same approach when it comes to sport, which means I'm very much disciplined. Having a skincare routine is very relaxing to me. It's not much, it doesn't take much time of the day, but it just, I don't know, there is something very therapeutic for me, just taking 5 minutes for yourself. I never like to be the guy who is mocked because he doesn't have lotion. That's something very big I think, in the Black culture, and especially in the locker room. A self-care routine is part of the discipline. It's the same that the way I train. I have to do it every day in order to feel good. Taking those moments for myself helped me to be more focused. I have a game in 6 days. When I was younger, I remember dreaming about living this life, being able to play professional, play in such a big club like Barcelona. Every kid always dreamed of playing in the Champions League. So I have to be very, very focused on myself first in order to be there for the team.
Every time I do my nails, every time I choose my outfit, get my hair cut, these are all preparations for that day.
Winning is everything. It's a game of emotion. Sometimes the emotions are very high and it's not possible to control it.
Estoy muy nerviosa. Somos superhéroes para ellos.
It takes a lot more than just getting ready. It's the braids, it's the eye makeup, but it's kind of like meditating. It has to be a big mentality shift.
When you've owned every part of winning, it feels like this is the moment that I was ready for and I was waiting on. You're unstoppable.